Hang on, you owe me a review breakdown of Chris Rock. So three, two, one, go.
You, Chris Rock. Okay, so ticket time was
Bear in
8
mind, you
p.m.
got big shoes to fill. I did the Dave Chappelle one justice. So I want
Ticket
some
time was
views off this on YouTube. Yeah. So come on.
ticket time was 8 p.m. We were there at like 6:30. Arena Bowl opened. The other guys got some food, chilled out, got in there. Everyone was seated. No countdown, nothing, no indication. No, like normally there's an announcement. Take your seat. The show's going to start. Nothing. Lights go dark. Probably around 9 o'clock. Warm up act comes on. Some guy from California, I think. Was
Name.
good. Can't remember his name. Was good though. He did a lot of audience
Crowd work. Respect.
Yeah, crowd work, which is good, right? Like he had some bits of the set, but he did a lot, man. Like he was just, and it's normal, where are you from? Who are you? That kind of thing. He called a couple of dudes gay. He's like, they don't know what's going on. He's getting it tonight. Then there was a Chinese guy who was also Canadian, and then the Chinese guy was like stealing everyone's seats, and he was moving around. And then there was a black guy wearing glasses. He was like, he goes, if a white guy wears glasses, you think he's blind. But if a black guy wears glasses, you think he's cool.
Yeah, pretty much. That's spot on.
Oh, it's so good.
Or he's Stevie Wonder, but yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a group of Indian lads on the front row, and he was like, oh, is this what you call a cell? Is this how it starts? So
trying to convert me. Right.
Yeah. It was good. It was good, man. So he was good. And then we were on the actually side stage this time. So we could actually see Chris before he came on.
Okay.
He was in all white, and we're like, oh shit, that's Chris Rock, it's Chris Rock. And then Chris comes on, and he's like, so first of all, I'm okay. And that's how he started. And everyone was just like clapping, and then people like shouting stuff like, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. So that was pretty funny.
Of course, the audience latched onto that. Of course they did.
Yeah, he lapped it up, although he was funny, man. He's 57, and his piece was very reflective, man. Like, it was just a honest piece that he did. Like his set, he did a good set, man, at least an hour and a half. No, most comedians I see his level, loads of warm-up act, Kevin Hart included, he had a prolonged warm-up act, and they probably did a 45-minute set. But
Chris, so what I've noticed with big comedians is they have a longer set, and then in the edit that they release, they cut out bits that they're not happy with, and then they might use that as a basis for the next set to warm them up into something and try and slot it in, especially if they feel like it's not complete. So they'll beef it out and then they'll cut bits out. That's what I've noticed when I've seen people live and then watch their special afterwards on Netflix.
Didn't know that. But yeah, he did a good hour and a half set. Had he started earlier, I think people have been less tired. Like I think everyone was a little bit tired Friday. I was really tired. I'd worked like till midnight the day before, and then an 8 till 5 shift. But he warmed up, and like he started really like kind of just long, just like ha jokes, and then they were like longer jokes, and he's like building up the story. He does one bit about the difference between dating a younger woman and an older woman. He's like, older women got older women problems, man. He goes like, a younger woman, she just wants shoes. He buys some shoes, she's happy. And he's like, older woman's like, can you help me fix my roof? Can you help me unclog my drain? And then he pulled out his phone and he showed us his text message trail with this random woman, Candice. It's just really funny, man.
Candice the themey, eh? Okay.
Yeah. This is me. I saw him 5 years ago. 5 years ago? 2000.
When you saw him, when he did the one with the Netflix special that came out with him doing it 3 different places?
Maybe. It was definitely same arena. It was either 4 years. It's just after I got married, I think. So 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. But I think he was better this time. I saw him the first time and I was like, I left thinking, my God, Chris Rock is old.
Yeah, last time he did it, he wasn't in the right place. And he's openly said that tour wasn't his finest tour. He was coming out of a divorce, and a lot of people say that it was a money grab kind of tour. Like he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it just to make some money, clear out my proceedings of all my divorce. And then
fair enough, innit? Yeah. He said that about his ex-wife. He's like, she's got exactly as much money as me, and she ain't funny.
Yeah.
It was good, man. And he was talking about he's single now, and his daughter, like when she was younger, she used to bite people. It was good. It was just really, really good comedy, and it was less like slapstick comedy, which I think
he never used to do slapstick comedy though. He used to do comedy that was more of the ilk of let me let me talk about real cultural issues within the black
Yeah.
community. And that was like a little bit, I guess you could say a little bit of it is slapstick, but the beginning part is slapstick, and then he'll dive into it, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you're taking this into a very different place that I didn't think about or consider. And now it's funny.
Mm. He's anti woke. He went on so much stuff anti woke. He talked about
All comedians are really, well, all good comedians are, I should rephrase. Yeah.
talked about Meghan Markle. Basically, he had this whole piece on victim mentality,
Yeah.
and I think he was softly suggesting Jada as well in that.
Yeah.
He was like, there are people who are famous because they're great, like Serena Williams.
Mhm.
He goes, then there are people who are infamous, like the guy who tackled Dave Chappelle. And he goes, and then he was like, then there are people who just pretend to be victims. And then he didn't say anything. He just kind of like stroked his face like this.
I respect that. I respect that.
No, he's a good man. He didn't give it too much airtime. Siri's trying to speak to me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Siri says, yeah, okay. Yeah, so he didn't give it too much airtime. What happened in the Oscars? But he just had a good set, man, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I thought, okay, this is Chris Rock, man. He's definitely up there, man, with Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle. Yeah, these are the big boys.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't put Kevin or Chris in the same ilk as Dave.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen
all three, and I just think that they're very different.
Dave is the goat, man. Like he says, they say it openly as well, and
those two say it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've heard the story about Kevin Hart and Chris Rock sitting in the back of the comedy store, the paper, ripping it up, all that stuff. Yeah. So for those that don't understand as to what we're talking about, check it out on YouTube. Just type in famous Kevin Hart story about Dave Chappelle. He's told it on numerous podcasts. It's out there.
Yeah.
I don't want to regurgitate it. So yeah, a lot of people acknowledge him to be the living greatest. And I've seen all of them, I think, within the last 10 years. Actually, Chris, I haven't seen for about 15, so I can't really comment. But comparing Kevin to Dave were worlds apart. Yeah. Kevin's more like in your face, I got high energy kind of comedian. And Dave is very, I'm going to use my
Dave
words,
is a clever comic.
and I don't have to use energy. I can just use my delivery with it, which is very clever and very hard to do.
I mean, they're both delivery. They're both doing delivery, but you're saying, his way of delivering is he can be very subtle about it. He just turns his head and he looks, he's on the seat and he's rocking. He's like, I just look at you and he'll deliver it.
One thing I noticed about Dave was when he did that special, I think it was 846. It wasn't a comedy special. It was him talking about everything that happened with the Black Lives Matter stuff and whatnot. And when you watch it back, if you just watch the way he handles himself on stage, he has a cigarette in his hand and a lighter, and it takes him about 13 or 14 minutes to actually put the cigarette in his mouth and light it, because he's like going through the motions of getting it out the pack, opening it up, taking it to his mouth, putting it down, taking it to his mouth, putting it down, lighting, turning off the lighter. And I just watched it back and I'm thinking, are you doing this intentionally, or is this just you being natural? Because it was kind of genius, but also a little bit frustrating to watch him not like something or not.
Why was it genius?
Because it has you immersed in his actual actions of what he's doing on stage, but he's also delivering a really serious message. And I don't know if it was intentional when he was doing that. I do sit and think about that, and I think, were you intentionally trying to throw us off there a little bit, or are you just doing this because that's how you are as a person? I don't know.
That's quite clever.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this after the show as well. So you got those three, and then are there any other big comedians you put in the same league? Current. So
this is where it gets a bit dodgy, doesn't it? Because everyone's got their own thanks. Everyone's got their own taste of comedian, haven't they? And some that have been doing it for the same amount of time. So some people say Rogan's really good. I've got a personal favorite of mine who's Tom Segura. I really like him, and Bert Kreischer. I like Joey Diaz, but they're guys who aren't very well known in comparison to the others. They are well known in their own respect, but they're just not. They haven't got the same international recognition as, say, those guys do.
Okay.
So yeah, in terms of putting them in the leagues, I think recognition-wise, they're probably the main three. You go with. But my personal favorites have got to be the ones I've mentioned. Bill Burr, he's another one I really like.
Bill Burr, yeah, okay.
Bill Burr's really funny. And I'm missing one person. Oh, Andrew Schultz. He's another guy I'm a big fan of as well. Really big fan of. I'm hoping he comes to the UK, but I really like him. Yeah.
The other guy that does with Andrew Schultz as well that we watched.
Akash Singh, yeah.
Yeah, he's good, man. I do like him.
Grimakapu. He's good,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Akash has got
I do like
he's
him.
got a lot of potential, and you can see he's growing at the same pace that Andrew did a few years
Mhm.
ago. But
Mhm.
he's really good, man. It's good to see. Oh, and obviously we're gonna see Peter Russell this
Who we
weekend,
seeing on
right?
Saturday?
Peter Russell,
Brrr.
right? We'll be doing another review of that next week, guys. But this time it'll
Absolutely,
be
absolutely.
one that we've both been to, so I think that'll be quite enjoyable. You know.
Yeah, and just FYI, Indy is very hyper, super critical about things, whereas you can see mine is very relaxed review on things. I like most things.
I will be.
Yeah.
But I like Russell in it. Same way how I like Dave. I wasn't critical. I just enjoyed it, and I just mentioned the bits I enjoyed in the experience.
I haven't missed a Russell Peters show in the UK since he's been touring UK.
Really? Have you seen him every time?
Yeah, remember he hasn't been touring the UK for that long, but yeah, I was thinking about it today. I haven't missed any of his shows. His first one I thought was really good, and then I remember the last
Super
time I saw
fan
him.
over him, man.
Yeah, man, we got really good seats, man. I just realized when I checked the seats, we're row 10,
Are we?
middle section. Yeah,
Oh shit. Okay. Whoops.
yeah, baby. Well, no, it's not roasting.
Sorry, we might get
No.
grilled.
Oh,
I'll tell
mate,
you what, I'll do my
I love
matcha
it.
on that day just so we can take the piss out of me. Okay. Okay.
I love it, man. Interaction is the one. That's exactly what you want, man.
Of course. Of course.
Do you know what I mean? But no, we're not in roasting range. Row 10 isn't enough. We need to be in the first 3 rows. 3 rows is kind of like 3 rows
Oh
unless
yeah,
you're
because
really
obviously it's all
quirky.
blacked out. He can only see the first 3, can't he? Because of the shine that comes off the stage that just illuminates the first 3 rows.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, the guy who opened for Chris, he could see a lot further back. But I think unless you're really like distinct, maybe you and your mustache, yeah.
I might have to wear some bright colors.
You may have to. You may have to.
To be fair,
we're
we're going to blend in. Let's be honest. We're going to blend in. It's going to be a very
Brown Central.
Indian brown space. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think Russell's got it's interesting. I've seen him only ever in Birmingham, which is obviously very brown. Manchester, I don't know what the feel is going to be like. I know Manchester's quite diverse, kind of feel more like
Think
a
about
London-ish
neighbouring
vibe.
cities around Manchester. You've got like Bradford,
Liverpool
too. True.
I'm
you
telling
might
you,
attract
man,
some
there's
people
going to be
there.
there's going to be a mix. I think there's going to be a good mix of people. He's got a diverse kind of appeal.
Yeah.
Russell. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be good.
There we go, Peter Russell. That review is coming up next week. So happy days.